What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So today I have right here the iPhone SE 3, the third gen 2022, whatever you want to call it, and the Pixel 5a, which was released back in August of 2021. And I want to compare the two because they're at similar prices and they're at the similar kind of mid-range devices. This is Apple's budget lineup, I guess you can say, the SE lineup, and this is Google's budget lineup, the A series lineup. But before I do begin, I want to talk about these wallpapers real quickly, and these are wallpapers that I have created. I've been getting so many questions about what wallpapers I use, and up until now I've been using an app called Backdrops, but I wanted to decide, I went ahead and created my own wallpapers. I'll be leaving links in the description down below if you want to go ahead and support the channel. It would really mean a lot for me, but I'm definitely going to be working to put out more and more wallpapers, learn how to create even better ones. But in the meantime, here are these wallpapers, links in the description down below. If you want to go and support the channel, I really appreciate it. And let's dive right in. Let's first start off with design. And if we talk about iPhone SE 3, well, this is the design of the iPhone SE 2, which was the design of the iPhone 8, which was the design of iPhone 7, and 6 is the iPhone 6. Essentially, this is a device, like, let's put away like the small improvements. This is a device that has the same hardware as a device back from 2014, an 8-year-old device. And we can literally say right out the bat, this is an outdated device. And we've been seeing reports that iPhone SE 3 has not been selling really well. It just has not been grabbing the attention of consumers because for an extra like $100 they can go get a iPhone 11 that is more modernly made. So I mean, design, there's really no need to go in depth. I mean, it's the same 4.7-inch LCD display. It's got Touch ID. It's got a home button, physical home button for those who like it. It's got a single rear camera setup. It's just the same iPhone that we've seen from iPhone 6, same design. So, I mean, no need to really dive into detail about that design. As for Pixel 5a, this is a more modern, just looking at the two, this is a more modern approach. I definitely go in the route of Pixel. It does have fingerprint sensor. It's on the back. It's a physical fingerprint sensor on the back. It's got a dual camera setup. It's got a rigid power button, which I really do like, and it's a kind of turquoise color. So it's pretty much accented, which I really do like. Google got rid of that with the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. It's got a more full display. It's got a hole punch. It doesn't have a notch, or it doesn't have bezels like this, but it's got a hole punch display. It's not 90 hertz. It's only at 60 hertz. Got USB-C. It's got a headphone jack. Apple does not have a headphone jack. They got rid of it in 2016. Guess what? Pixel 5a still has one. Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, they don't. I don't know what Pixel 5a looks like that's going to drop the headphone jack, but if you're looking for a headphone jack, Pixel 5a has it right here. And it's got a pretty beefy, like 4,680 milliamp hour battery. Battery life on this is superb. Let me tell you right off the bat, but we're going to dive into detail into that in a little bit. But the more modern design is Pixel. It's made out of plastic, and this one's made out of glass, yeah. And it doesn't have wireless charging, but it definitely feels more modern. I just like this design. So that's just my take. Design, I think, wins, and I choose it because it goes for a more modern approach. Okay, now let's talk about software and performance. Apple iPhone SE 3 815 Bionic chip. It's got 4 gigs of RAM. It's got iOS 15. It's got the latest and greatest. You won't have any issues with software performance at all. Doesn't have a 120 hertz display, but this is one smooth 60 hertz display that I've ever used. But with day-to-day tasks, even playing games, you won't have any issues. That software performance may affect battery life. Again, we'll get into that into a little bit. But you'll be off really well with performance on here. It's a champ. It has the same battery, or it's the same chipset, the 815 Bionic chipset as the iPad mini 6 and as my iPhone 13 Pro Max. So go figure. They put a really high-end chip, a more powerful chip than the Pixel 5a for sure, and it definitely hinders the performance here. This has Snapdragon 765G. It's decent, you know, it gets the job done. Calling, texting, watching YouTube videos, this and that, you know, it gets the job done, but yeah, it's not iPhone SE 3 level. I'm sorry, it's not. It's really not. It is a little bit more battery saving. Again, we'll get into that into a little bit, so stay tuned for that segment. But if you're going to play games, play Call of Duty, play Pokemon Go on this, for example, you're going to be perfectly fine on both. Just know that Pixel 5a is going to struggle a little bit more. As for software, iPhone SE 3 software support will probably be getting about 5-6 years of software support with the iPhone SE 3. As for Pixel 5a, 3 years. I mean, it debuted with Android 11, Android 12, 13. We're probably going to get Android 13 and 14, and that's it for Pixel 5a, unless they start pushing out more software updates. But for now, 3 years of software updates versus 5-6 years of software updates. I mean, I have to go with software on here. Now, it's give or take. I mean, it's Android and iOS, so it really comes down to preference, which one you prefer. But honestly, if I were given these two phones and I was just told based on software and the performance-wise, which one I'd have to choose, I'd go iPhone SE 3. It'll be more reliable, at least in my case, because I am a heavy user and I use more power. So iPhone SE 3 takes it for me. Now let's talk about the cameras. So looking at the cameras, iPhone SE 3 just made a slight upgrade. It's essentially the same as iPhone SE 2 though. And Pixel 5a has a dual camera setup with a wide angle as its second lens. It's not a telephoto, which is good. Good wide angle is the way to go, at least for the second lens. But iPhone photos are still great. They still are. Video is phenomenal. I use iPhones for my videos, as you can see from all three angles when you're watching my videos. All three of them are iPhones because they're just so easy to use, and it makes my workflow so much easier. And it literally takes a huge burden off my shoulder. So yeah, I can definitely trust iPhone camera here. It doesn't have things like night mode, and it doesn't have those extra features, but for day-to-day use, the iPhone camera, well, it does a great job. And if you're looking to use this iPhone SE 3 to create reels, TikToks, YouTube shorts, YouTube videos, post on social media, make some content, this is the way to go. iPhone SE 3. Not saying you're gonna have trouble with Pixel 5a. It is really great, but the optimization for social media, for example, is definitely better on just iPhones in general. Now, Pixel 5a quality is superb. It's a Pixel camera. You're going to be getting good photos out of here. And it's got night mode, it's got those extra features, but their computational photography is just next level. It's great. Their camera hardware is obviously it's showing its age, but that's okay for a $450 device. I think day to day I'll be putting up some sample photos. You be the judge. Take a look. But I personally go with iPhone SE 3 just because I'm not looking for more features. I'm just looking for more practicality. And iPhone SE 3, and for my use case scenarios, making content, I think iPhone SE 3 is going to be the better device for me. Again, it's your preference which one you want to choose. Pixel 5a is going to have more features, more software features as well. Night mode, it has on the Pixel 5a, iPhone SE 3 does not. Video-wise, I would just say, iPhone SE is more reliable. Again, that's up to you, but for me, I think iPhone SE takes the crown here. All right, now let's talk about the battery. So I kind of teased it before, but let's really dive into the battery. Now, iPhone SE 3, well, let's talk about iPhone SE 2 had a pretty bad battery life, so Apple decided to put in slightly larger battery in here, which is slightly better battery life with the optimization of A15. It's definitely much better, but it just is not the best. It's still not like you can trust to use this whole day without plugging into a charger midday. You still have to charge this midday. And as a heavy user myself, I always have to do that. But it is what it is. It's got wireless charging, so that's a huge plus. It doesn't have MagSafe, which I'm really upset about, but it is what it is again. I hope the mini lineup becomes the iPhone SE lineup. We'll see. But Pixel 5a definitely takes the crown here. It's got a 4,680 milliamp hour battery, and the optimization with Snapdragon 765G. It's not a power-hungry processor, so it's definitely going to perform much better, much longer. You can take this out for an entire day, being far from a charger, and you won't have any issue whatsoever. It doesn't have wireless charging, so be sure of that. It's got USB-C, so if all of your other products are USB-C, good job. But if you don't have a wireless charger, all of your products are USB-C, you got to bring a lightning connector. And I think Apple will go portless before it goes USB-C. That's just something to keep in mind. And that's why they're adding MagSafe to their, introducing MagSafe, let's put it that way, to their iPhone 12 and newer. So we can start to get used to it. Although a lot of people don't even know what MagSafe is. Surprising, a lot of people still don't know what MagSafe is, but they're going to learn sooner or later when Apple decides to get rid of the port. Anyway, battery life, you can definitely trust the Pixel 5a. It'll last you the entire day, even if you're a heavy user, about 6-7 hours of screen on time in my use case. So for the battery department, Pixel 5a is the one to go with. Okay, so now let's talk about price. So I'm going to be putting up the prices of the iPhone SE3 right here. So starting price, 64 gigs of storage for $429. They raised the price by $30 for 64 gigs of storage. If it was 120 gigs, I would have been like, all right, not too shabby, but for 64 gigs of storage, I'm like, come on. I mean, and you can check the extra configurations. You're going to be paying more. And at that point, if you're going to be paying extra for configuration on iPhone SE3, just get something like a renewed on Amazon, like iPhone 12 or iPhone 11, whichever one you like more than getting this. I guarantee you can find it cheaper, like iPhone 11 or iPhone 12 with more storage, rather than paying the premium price for more storage on the iPhone SE3. That's just my personal opinion. So $429 is a rough sell for the iPhone SE3. Now let's talk about Pixel 5a. So this comes in one storage, $449 for 120 gigs of storage and 6 gigs of RAM, and this is the only color. It has like a black. I think it's called Kinda Black, but it has like a green tint, a green hue to it, and $449. That's it, $449. And I just opened Siri. $449, or was that Google Assistant? $449. That's a really good price for what you're getting, especially when you compare it to iPhone SE3. So price, I think Pixel 5a with the features you're getting, with the good battery life, really good camera, well, putting video aside, really good screen, more modern design. I think Pixel 5a is going to be a better buy here than the iPhone SE3. iPhone SE3 is a difficult phone to recommend in 2022. Yes, there are some people who will go ahead and buy it, and I'm not saying if you buy it, that's like a wrong choice. It's still a really good phone. It's just, this is a dated design, and many consumers are now looking for phones that are just larger. That's why they're kind of putting aside the mini lineup this year with iPhone 14 series, because people are just going for larger devices. And this just is not selling too well. But between the two, I think Pixel 5a just offers more bang for your buck. You may disagree with me. That is perfectly fine. That's what makes all of us unique. But for me, I would pay the $450 for Pixel 5a over, if price was one of the main factors, Pixel 5a over iPhone SE3 any day. All right, and that about wraps up this video. So these are, like, I didn't go too much into detail, and I'm not going to, because I'm just sharing my experience with them and my final thoughts. They're both really good devices. It all comes down to preference, iOS or Android, and they're both mid-rangers. So which one do you want to go with? If you're looking for great battery life, a more modern design, then Pixel 5a is going to be for you. If you're just looking for, I want that home button, I want Touch ID, and I want just a normal iPhone that's small and compact, then iPhone SE3 is probably going to be your choice. But for me, in the end, if I just would use Pixel 5a for everyday use, because I know I'm on my phone very often. I'm using it every day, and for me, battery is a huge one, as well as price. Pixel 5a is going to take it for me. I know I really like the camera on the iPhone SE3. Now, it doesn't offer as much features as Pixel 5a with the camera, but everything about it, like everything else, the battery life, the design is just, and the price is kind of has pushed me away from saying, hey, I can use this every day. So there's that. Pixel 5a for me is going to be my choice. Let me know what your choice is. Which one would you choose over the other and why in the comments down below. That's been it from me. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to superman that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the YouTube channel a lot and will help push my content out to more people. Anyway, that's been it from me, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.